Welcome again, viewers. This is Wadidja, as in what did you say and what did you do? What did you think? Bringing you another broadcast today about the Elysian Collector Challenge. And as you can see here, it is under your challenges under freelancer, and if you've completed it as I have, if you haven't, it'll be listed here. You scroll down to Elysian Collector, and as you can see, I have opened up 162 out of 162 chests. And that doesn't mean that you're going to get all the rewards that are listed here, but in my case, I was able to get almost all of the rewards except for one. The only one that I did not get is Wasting Away, which is the third from the bottom. It's a common decal. So, I'm pretty pleased with the results, and I want to go ahead and try to preserve the memory at this point, and also to explain the nature of the keys once you have achieved, completion. Apparently, you still can collect keys, and you can still receive awards from chests that are open, but the rewards that you get will only be in building materials. It seems to be the case for it. We'll go ahead and take a quick look here initially to satisfy the point about the decals, and then we'll go ahead and move on to showing that you still can collect a key from each day as it's presented to you, and you still can receive rewards from a stronghold run, and I'll use one of the keys I have to also to show that you can use them. And then after that, we'll go ahead and review some of the other javelins, such as the Interceptor, Colossus, and the Storm, in the way that these vinyls and look in the. So it'll be a little bit of a video here, but we'll try to wrap it up because the devs are going to be having a broadcast today about the new material Stronghold coming up, and that's at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So you want to try to check that out as well. I won't be covering the point, except for perhaps after it's over. During one of my other broadcasts, I may talk about any particular that seems noteworthy. But to the point here, this is the only epic graphic that you can get out of the Elysian chest. It is very eclectic in its artistic design, without a doubt. I've chosen this earth tone background, neutral palette, to sort of try to create a template to show the various different vinyls that you do get. They have a very strong variety of colors, so this here seems to be one of the best palettes that I could think of to not to be able to highlight all the detail of the vinyls and not have to switch colors around in order to do so. So bear in mind, there are a good amount of vinyls that to be had here, and there's a few patterns as well, and there are a few emotes to cover. So the video is going to be a little longer than some may prefer or what have you. I apologize if that's the case, but I'm selecting here the different ones that are available from the Elysian chest while I'm talking. This here is just a splatter effect that affects just the front face. A lot of people do kind of complain about the level of detail to these vinyls and the amount of coverage, but you got to keep in mind the quality of the vinyl, or rather the level of the vinyl, sort of like your common, uncommon, epic, legendary. So all that applies to these vinyls as well. And as you can see up here with this epic, is far more elaborate, far more encompassing of the javelin, and then this common one is just a little something on the javelin. So to me, you got to pay attention to that point in regard to what kind of quality you may feel about the look of the vinyl. To me, I think it's fairly appropriate, and I mean there are a lot of tastes out there, and a lot of individuals that do have a minimalist approach to the styling that they'd like to have. I'm one of those kind of people, although I can get into some of the more bolder, flashier examples of things. But shoot, I keep clicking in that. Sorry. But I think this will definitely help add to the variety and the longevity of the situation, where people can, hopefully feel like they have a near distinct or individualized javelin look that somebody else might not have, to feel, distinct out there. As they say, bring the thunder. But yeah, so I think they're pretty cool for what they're worth, and they're free, and how much, it's not too much you can really complain about on that end of things. I feel like they did a balance or a visual pass or upgrade to the vinyls, where I feel like I'm not 100% sure that the pixelation is less apparent when you place them on the other javelins or other armor pieces, where the vinyl is now larger than potentially normal. I feel that way because when I've placed it on the other javelins, taking a look at things, they were. It was a little disappointing to see how distorted they were before the last update. So it's been since the last update. I think update 1.402 or something like that. Don't get me to line on the update numbers, but yeah, it's second update after 1.04. So a lot of different color palettes for people and their various different tastes to accentuate or highlight the point. And you can use the background colors to mute or highlight various different aspects. Like this is another one here that's just on the top of the helmet there. So I've been making use of some of them myself. I've been enjoying the variety, and I like to break up the monotony of running the same javelin by having some different looks to enjoy from time to time. I've seen this one here seems to be a little bit popular because of the way it kind of makes a face somewhat, and but yeah, let's see here. Where are we? Yeah, Splashdown is another one. I think Sonic Boom is one. Let me double check the list. Hold on a second. I had to take it. Yeah, Sonic Boom is an uncommon one on the list. Yeah, I had to take a screenshot because it would have been nice if they gave you a checklist to the point, but they did not. Core Belief. That's interesting with this palette. Yeah, I prefer the balanced look where if you have something on one shoulder, you have something on the other. But depending on your point of view, the rocket launcher along the back can kind of add that balance in regard to the point, or it could be the strong arm of the situation, the patch on the shoulder. It depends on your point of view of it. Will vary on your understanding or regard for balance to the point. There's another nice one here too. like I said, it's a lot of these are, you know, keep in mind it's I would say it's more towards the minimalist, um, and you know, depending on how you do your background, you know, it could actually be very striking, and you know, muting or highlighting various different, you know, colorations or outlines within your design work of these vinyls. But yeah, that's this one here is like an example of one providing that balance I'm talking about. But yeah, like I said, getting all but one isn't too bad of a shake in the situation. But yeah, when we run the missions to, well, the one mission to get the key for the day to show you that you still can collect keys, I'll be using this vinyl on my Ranger, but not this one here. I have a different coloration set up. Just testing out the look of it and working with a different build too as well today. Slightly different, just in the grenade area, but I'll highlight that point then. Here's another power source. Here's another one that complements this palette here. But yeah. And I mean, that balance aspect also too seems to apply to the whole weapon thing. Like, you know, do you show your weapons? Don't you show your weapons? I'm actually still slightly in debate about that point, you know, and how you might decide to arrange the weapons. Do you carry a particular weapon as a stack stick, and you know, the look of it as well? You know, do you decide to equip it to your, like for the Ranger, you can equip things to the back right shoulder or the right hip and the left hip, depending on, you know, whether you use a heavy pistol, submachine gun, you know, like, you know, it just depends on what type of weapon you have. Unlike the other and also too, the Colossus does so as well. But the Colossus seems to, you know, the arrangement of the weapon seems to be very neat and, you know, to me, very proper in the way of the javelin. The Ranger, when he places the weapon on the back, it kind of attaches to the center, but you know, it catacorners across the right jet vent, and you know, I don't know. For me, in my point of view of it, it feels a little awkward that your weapon might get heated up from your jets, but you know, at the same time, with you know, it gives you that classic gunsling on the shoulder look as a soldier. It does provide an excellent balance to the missile launcher on the left hand, you know, side there, or the assault launcher there, and yeah, I'm not really sure what this is on the forehead. I think it's like a mountain range in Bastion, perhaps, is what I'm guessing. You know, but it's really cool actually. Um, like I said, Wasted Away is the only one that I did not get out of all the vinyls. And, you know, got all the materials and all the emotes. Those that like your hot pink. Now, the bullets, you know, ammunition across the top eyebrow there. That's kind of that's fat. I like that. Let's see. And that one is Dagger Gaze, and Machine Works is another. Yeah, I'm glad I thought about this palette. You know, like I said, at the end of the video, well, not end per se, but you know, after we do the legendary contract to get the key, and then we do the stronghold to show that you can still get, you know, receive awards and use keys if you want. You know, I'll show you these vinyls on the Interceptor, Colossus, and the Storm, because they do appear differently. And you know, keep in mind as well, depending on your armor type and selection, things can appear differently as well. This one here to me seems very well suited for the Colossus with the heavy gun there. That's nice. Kind of. Gives you like a tank girl feel. Cult favorite sci-fi back in the day. I like this. Gives you the balance on both sides, but gives you an artistic imbalance with. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Like I said, I just like the fact that you have something on both shoulders though. With this is nice. And a lot of the weapons, you have red and white in them. And that, again, with that weapon thing and showing the weapons, that debate to me is an interesting one, because like 99.9% of the public shows the weapons, and I'm not sure whether that's a notion of not knowing how to not show the weapons in your options, or is it a thing of, my javelin just doesn't look right without the weapons. And I can relate to that point, because I'm still debating it myself, because to me, the best analogy I can come up with is sort of like looking at a car when when you're considering one. You got the showcase look like what we have here with the javelins. And of course, a car in a showcase not moving looks good with nobody in it. Now, if you start to see that car drive down the street with nobody in it, we're not living in that day and age where automatic cars is the thing, where we're sort of used to that particular point. It's going to look a little odd to you, and for me, seeing the javelin in motion without its weapons does seem a little odd. But at the same time, there are things within the surrealization or the fantasy of the game, the reality it tries to present to you. It breaks down when it comes to the showing of your weapons one way or the other, in the fact that, like, when you go to pick up something in the environment, if you're carrying two weapons, your second weapon, even if it's not where the thing you're going to pick up is going to go, will disappear. Like, you could have two weapons on a javelin, one on each hip, like a heavy pistol and an assault rifle, but your back doesn't have one. But the game program says, oh, whatever you pick up doing an objective is going to go on your back. Your objective will go on your back, but then your side pistol or whatever is on your right hip will disappear. And with the Ranger javelin, he's got this electric mace, which appears out of nowhere. You're not really sure how it's constructed. Is it collapsible? What the deal is? But he's pulling it out from somewhere. So for me, with using the Ranger javelin as my main javelin preference, the concept of showing the weapon or not showing the weapon tends to break down a bit more than some of the other javelins, like, because the Storm, its melee ability is a fire blast, and so you don't have to worry about pulling something out of nowhere. And the Interceptor has some swank little glaives it pulls out, and the Colossus uses a shield. So all that's well covered in my opinion, and there's no real breakdown to the conceptual reality, sort of the immersion. I think that's a good term to use for it, the immersion you have in your character. And so the option to show weapons to me is far more apparent if it strikes you odd to see a javelin moving around without the weapons. But another important point is the weapons you have to carry and the look of them. I mean, after epic level, your weapons start looking different in your grandmaster, your legendary weapons, and having a brain fart all of a sudden. Your masterwork weapons. There we go. And your look of your weapons changes, and the colors and the patterns therein can be a bit extreme, in my opinion, in regard to the look and feel of the game. I'm not even sure what possessed them to go there with the point, other than other tiers of weapons will have more of a profound or holistic look in regard to the game's concept. Let me take another look at this one real quick. And yeah, this looks good even with this palette. And because I've got a feeling that hopefully if they do it right within the context of what is here now, we're going to wind up grinding for the same gear or some variation therein as they progress with, perhaps the next level after legendary may be ancient or, relic or, even off-worlder type weapons. So, you never know what the next level of things will be. But, it's going to negate your previous work to achieve whatever level you have. Now, grant you'll have materials to pull from when you break down whatever, but whoop-de-doo, when we're in shortage of materials here at the moment with the way things are set up. But still, materials are something that can be easily accommodated and come by. I would rather have some recognizable, longevity to the merit that I have, like, systems building on top of systems rather than just replacing what you have over and over and over again. But if there is a time difference, a time variable to when that next level of thing comes out, then that's cool. It's like, okay, I've grinded till I got to the legendary status, and maybe for me, I'd say more than 3 months. I mean, because people need time that don't have that have a life rather, and other things going on to get up to par versus constantly chasing a goal that won't ever be reached. But I'd say like every 6 months, or so, or maybe even a little bit more, but not a year. But to bring out the next level of whatever, so that people can truly have time to gear up and enjoy a mid-max situation, because this takes time. It's a game of time factoring in regard to its gating and your progress. People have been coming out with videos left, right, and center on the drops and theories about them and what have you. And I'm not big on name dropping, and I'm really not familiar with all the ins and outs of the legality. So I try to restrain from that point. But I've got to give mad props to a broadcaster by the name of KB. I believe he pronounces his name Cornelius Briedis, Kormelius. Last name Briedis. But yeah, a foreign gentleman, cool accent. He covered the point, and I mean his due diligence on the subject matter. My hat's off to him, very well. But my experience correlates very well with his results, as well as many others. Everyone seems to be trying to do their homework on comparing the data and testing things out for themselves, and I've been no short in that. This one really looks good with this palette, by the way. And the detail around the skull in the center actually changes with your paint that you choose. So, like, if you wanted to choose a different color, the inside of the decal actually changes, which is kind of dope. But yeah, that one and the next one does that as well. But yeah, so the loot situation, it seems to be a factor of time and played and enemies killed. I'm sure the type matters, because of how the devs have explained. You get more rolls towards a better drop, as well. Like with the boss, you have more rolls towards it than say any other thing in the game at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, supposedly. But you have to keep in mind, as it was stated, the ceiling was lowered and the ceiling was raised, so you're going to see all types of nature of a drop within that situation. And even when it comes to your inscriptions, like the last broadcast, I was laughing. I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, I got an inscription that said 1% extra damage. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. This is absurd. But yeah, so the ceiling has been lowered. Now that looks sexy. Yeah, I might have to run with that at some point. Let's see. But yeah, I like this decal in general. I've been rocking this on a couple of different flavors of situations here. this inside out. Now some of the names to these decals, though, I tell you this much, are a little odd. Like this one here, I like the look of it, but in your gut seems a bit pervy. Now this laugh at death is mad cool in its simplicity, but where it really comes into play is if you have the benefit of the Legion of Dawn helmet, you put that up on there, and you can rock that Predator joint. Um, that shit's hot. You depending on you mix and match your palette however you want on that. I mean, probably can't do too many wrongs. But again, with the awkwardness aspects of things and getting used to the look of things, the concept of the javelins is provocative, and to me, it's a thing of trying to be holistic with how I like to enjoy the I don't know, empathizing with the situation. But it's like a vehicle, mobile suit platform. Uh, Anthropomorphized form that you're using here, something that looks human like. And, not only are you inside of it, but there is a consciousness helping you to operate the situation. So there's a collaboration of things happening. But bottom line is, the proportions are awkward for me to get used to with the hindquarters and them still maintaining proper human proportions as best as possible. It's funny, my wife looked at this first time, was like, is that for amputees? Like, because it's kind of almost awkward to understand how the human body really actually fits inside of it. That's not one from the chest, my fault. I'm sitting here running my mouth and just clicking stuff. This is one you get from the regular buy. Snapshot is the next one, my fault. So ignore that on Serpent's Den, my apologies. Snapshot is the next. But yeah, so the with me relating to the javelin situation, I'm like 5'8 3/4 and 145 pounds. I'm a slender kind of person, so and I don't have a big head on my shoulders in any capacity. So, the bulbously head of the Predator or the Legion of Dawn helmet there, it doesn't necessarily suit me, but I do like the look of it. And if you use different armor pieces to help bulk up the body of it a bit, it does come across very well. And you've got a lot of different armor types that you have to keep in mind when you go to get them. So far, they don't seem to replace any armor piece. They add on top of what is there naturally, or on the whatever what's a stock standard on the production of the javelin. The extra armor pieces that come in seem to be stuff stacked on top of it. Like I can't recall seeing something that really replaced what was naturally there. So with that in mind, you're changing, and they try to keep the proportion there as they grow with stacking these armor pieces on or changing them. Well, they really don't change them. Like I said, they add on top of what's on base. So your proportions can change in various different ways, I think, to help complement your mind's eye to what you feel may be appropriate to relate to. But for this, with the fact that they fly and all, and to me it reminds me of a jet in a way, mashed into this mobile fighting suit. This here that's all it is. There's nothing on the shoulders, by the way. Having the arms from the Legion of Dawn really sets that off well, and maintaining the stock helmet, especially seeing that the stock helmet, I believe, is the only one for the Ranger, which allows you to it allows the helmet to open. So like during your cinematics or what have you, you'll be able to see the face of your character through it. There's others that appear to do so, but I don't think that they do in the cinematics. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so this is the reason why I've sort of chosen what I've chosen with my Ranger and the look they're in, despite the fact that I have all the other armors that you can have. But my hat's off to folks in what they selected. I haven't really seen a bad example of anything. It's really dynamic how varied you can do things and the recombinations of things that, yeah, I mean, really, you could easily never see two javelins the same if people apply themselves. Now, this here is hot. But I wish that the center forehead of the Earth was facing forward, not to the side. But that is kind of fat, though. That I mean, this is the yeah, we're almost through the decals, and like I said, at the end, after we show that we can get a key and still use a key after completing the challenge, I'll show you what these decals look like on the Storm, Interceptor, and Colossus, because they do look different. Some things like this one, for example, warning markings, won't present the face that this splatter effect kind of presents on the Ranger. Now, it does do very well on the Interceptor, but the Colossus and the Storm, depending on your point of view of it, may not do as well. Wait a minute. Yep, and this is the last one, Skyfire, of the vinyls. So, and then what we have are materials and animation. Let's see here. Let's choose the chest area. And what all did we get out of the chest here? We got the dots out of the chest. Let me go ahead and reference this list of things here just to make sure I don't mess up. Hold on one second here. Un momento, por favor. Let's see. Let's see, fabrics. Right. Dots. Yep. And I just want to make sure. Because a lot of these you get out of the store versus buying them there. I don't think. Cotton hammer stroke. I don't think that was one. Let me just leave it on the one right here while I'm checking this list without clicking around too much. Okay, so let's try to go in order on this list. So we have silk geometric thorns is one. We have cotton hammer stroke is another. And we have vinyl sun tile 2 is another. And let me provide a second color just to, yeah. So, now, I just got rid of it. Oh no, it should still be here. Yeah, this color here that popped in, this is not a color that you can select anywhere or create. It's what comes up only if you have not selected a two-tone color pattern, but it looks more black than most blacks in the game, just FYI. And if you wanted to save that color, you would, select it like so. I would say create another default javelin, and then I'll get back to my point here, but this is a good one for those that are trying to do fashion shit. If you go to another javelin and select on it, like I use this Colossus to save some colors on it, when you go to paint, your paint will be temporarily there that you used, and then you would just click on it like so and save it to your javelin. And yeah, so I have it here. Here we go. I did this here. So yeah, so I saved it here, and just, you know, back out and go back to wherever you were. And so if you ever want to access that color again without going through a lot of hoopla, then that's the best way to go ahead and do that. But yeah, so back to our presentation here, showcase of the goodies. So yes, vinyl sun tiled 2, and then we have nylon triangle flakes here. Nope, that's not it. Here. And let me go back up here so you can see this one again, the cotton hammer strokes a little bit better. There. So yeah, nylon strokes. Hang on one second, let me check something. Alright. And then we've got dots. Yeah, that's the other two problem with this list of stuff. The way not only does it not check itself off, it's not listed in alphabetically. So yes, dots. To me, this is sort of like a heavy canvas type material. And then you get vinyl out of the pack of things. Yeah, vinyl. And definitely you can tell the difference between vinyl and the other leathers and what have you. And then the other we got is jersey. Yeah. Looks like your jersey type sport material. Let's see here. And then we got diamond leather. Oh, I was so looking forward to getting this one because I likes my leather. But yeah, so you've got that there. I have it actually under the armpit and the crease. I'm using the padded leather there, the diamond leather. And then we got the dusty leather, which is sexy because it's not porous. It's highly buffed. I like that one a lot too. And then we got that's it on the materials that you get out of it, the Elysian chest. Let me just double check these screenshots here to make sure. Yeah. And the other thing we get out of it are emotes. I think I had the dusty. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Animations. Now there are a few which are javelin specific, like the first one that's listed is specific to the interceptor, and like I said, I've preset up you know, the look of the interceptor, storm, and colossus similarly to the rangers, to the you know, to be able to showcase the vinyls. Like I said, I'll do that after we show how we can still get a key and open the chest. But yeah, that's a little preview. But yeah, the animation we got, you get out of that for the break dance. So it's I think it's an arrival. No, there we go. Yeah. There it is. Let me select this and pull out. Not like that. Like that. There we go. Preview. Preview. Okay, no preview. Here we go. And let's see here. Then we got Flex 2, which I believe is specific to the Colossus. Like I said, there's our base palette. A little sneak preview. And I believe, let's see. Right here. flex too. Here we go. Yeah, so a little bodybuilding thigh jiggle and flex. That's cool. And then we get one for the storm javelin. Let's see, animation. And what is it called here? Fearsome Enter. Let's see that again. So yeah, it looks like he's, I don't know, straining, crying out, feeling the power. All right. And I believe the others are not javelin specific. Let's see here. So let's go back to our ranger. Ranger danger. And we'll take a look at these other animations. Let's see. So we have a victory. Shy thanks. That's kind of cool. And then we have super chest roar. Rawr. And let's see here. We have some regular emotes, such as hip hop, getting jiggy with it. And for those that want to look threatening when there's no PvP, or if you want to taunt a boss or enemy before you decimate them, you have throat threaten. Although that does sound a bit pervy too. But let's see. I think that's it on the emotes. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. So that's all your emotes, all your material types, and all but one of the decals, except for the only one I'm missing, like I said, out of my opportunities to get the Elysian chest rewards that are listed. Important keywords there. You know, have been expired. You have 162 chances to do so. And like I said, I lucked up and was able to get all but one. But yeah, I was really curious as to whether or not they would allow you to still acquire keys or even collect anything out of the chest whatsoever. But I was going to do this video yesterday, but I did a full day's testing of grinding the strongholds to see if it was a thing on odds as to why I wasn't getting the last reward. But it's not. It seems, I mean, I'm 99.9% sure that all I'm going to continue to get for the next 18 days are going to be building materials, which you can see in your vault as far as, your crafting materials. So let's see here. Take that off. Put that on, whatever. So yeah, so let's go ahead and do our quick runs here. Just two little things to get the key, show you that you still can get a key, and run a quick stronghold. Probably we want to go ahead and do Temple of Scar because you know, for several reasons. It's quick, it's fast for the most part, and on Grandmaster 1, and you know, you have a chance for drops from all the ads throughout the entire mission. And it's like I said, it seems to be a thing on time. You know, it played, and you know, enemies killed. It's like when your opportunity to get one comes along, it's your time. Now I think your luck may factor into play as long as you're under that 99%. A lot of people say not be around 90%, but keep in mind, you know, things adjust every 10 points. So you know, as long as you don't tip over to 100%, you still should be within the correct range of things. Mine's at 98%. I haven't seen an issue at all. So yeah, so once you get this 162, you know, you can still get things. So and I'm going to use, like I said, I collected a key yesterday with no problem, didn't have any issues not using it, and you know, was still just getting crafting materials left, right, and center. So I believe, you know, once you've completed it, your opportunity to obtain things from that list ends. Similar to how when it appears, when when the event happens, you have an opportunity for what is there. But again, if anything changes on that, I'll you know, put out a heads up about it, but I doubt it. So yeah, this the build real quick. You know, special ops situation where, you know, capable in all circumstances as best as I can with the Ranger, and dishing out all element types as well. And again, running at 98% luck. And going for the boom. You know, most of I'd say the damage aspect is emphasized in this build through combos. And you know, I'm testing out the Seeking Grenade, the Gambit, I believe it's called, because of its freeze effect on detonation. So instead of the Frost Grenade, just this, because I like having two detonators, because the way I run is, you know, with the Rounder's Blaze, and you know, taking advantage of elemental ops, I'm spitting out fire and acid, and you know, the mace has electricity, and you know, so I can also, you know, employ the Gambit here to provide the cold. But yeah, lucked up on a legendary version of this here with shields. Love it. And at the moment, just using Unending Battle primarily as a stat stick. It's not likely I'm going to go through the issue of switching weapons. To me, it's a thing. It's somewhat cumbersome, even though they've improved the swapping of reload of the weapons. I don't think they've improved the nation of swapping weapons, but it can be a little cumbersome, and for whatever reason, the handshake of the situation can get a little funky if things are going down, like you're being attacked or hit hard. You know, maybe it's something of being stunned or something. I don't know, but you know, it's if I don't have to, I typically don't. But my preference, if I was running definitely Grandmaster 2 or 3, would definitely be the Radiant Fortress. So, you know, get your shields back up when you need them. You know, preferably you want to be preemptive in that before they get low. But either who, this is our build that we're working with. So let's boogie, and I'm using one of the vinyls here because I'm working with showing my weapons at the moment. Yeah, different strokes for different folks there, Trent. Different folks, different strokes. But yeah, so the weapons I'm using at the moment, because of the look and the coloration, is the reason why I'm going with this style in here at the moment, just fucking around. But yeah, the weapons to me do look a bit like they're from Toys R Us. Sadly. Wait a minute, let me just double check this daily thing, make sure we're doing the right thing. Challenges, Path to Glory. Yeah, so we get our Elysian key from a legendary contract, right? I think that's the one. Trying to, yeah. Let me just check that too. I wish you could go into your codex from there. But I'm working on this critical object. No. Faction. Yeah, here we go. Champion of Tarsus. And the last one is on this list here of progress. The Sentinels, I'm trying to catch them up to the other two. This has been my focus really, on staying on Grandmaster 1, and rather than focusing too much on, you know, the if-thens and abouts about as far as how much more benefit Grandmaster 2 and 3 give you on drops. Also too, that the populace of individuals playing the game isn't one where you can rely on your pug groups to adequately get through Grandmaster 2 and 3 efficiently. And it's a numbers game really when it comes to when you're going to get your drops. So, you know, like I said, I just switch hitting and going to, you know, focusing on something else other than that for me feels more productive. So, and I'm looking forward to getting that gold finish and the blue for whatever they're worth. Even though, you know, our goal is legendary and they're only masterwork versions, still. Having is greater than wanting. But yeah, I do hope they come out or change the finished look of the weapons. They you know, above Grandmaster. Well, the Grandmaster, like not Grandmaster, Masterwork level and the Legendary level. To me, you know, I don't know. They just look like they came out of a toy store. The I don't know, the functional look of them, like the metal types and the design of the mechanics are sound. It's just the color palette that they use, and the fact that you can't change the look of your weapon like they first promised, and then it's not, you know, and then they secondarily changed it to, well, the look of your weapon will adjust to the look of your javelin based on the colors you assign to the materials. And then it changed to, well, it's all about the look of the javelin, so don't worry about it. We'll see what happens.
Heard about a group of outlaws causing trouble nearby. Take them some freelancer trouble.
Alright, where's our objective?
On my way.
I need a key, please. Yeah, bitch.
Bullets. They got no need for those. Shoot them. I understand. Yes, keep going.
Airborne Ranger, bitches. Take that, thank you. Where am I swinging at?
are scattered. You have won. Ah, yes, good job. Something else has come up, though. Getting a distress signal from a Corvus agent. Things must be very bad. Get out there.
I'll see what I can do.
Taking a while to process today. I tell you, this game, they're having some issues. Oh man, it's ridiculous. Oh, what's it doing? Dude. Do we all need to go drown ourselves or something to get this thing to reset? Okay, people are just leaving. Drown yourself, buddy. I think if there's a pool of water somewhere. Shit. Might have to restart this. It gotta be bullshit. Oh man. Yeah, there's no water around here deep enough. Probably gonna sound out of the mission. Here we go. Shit. Too far away. Yeah, if I could drown the character, it would reset. Oh, dude, this sucks. Oh, goodness. Well, looks like we gotta do this again. Asinine shit, man. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what problems and issues with this game continue to plague us as time moves forward. Because, you know, I remember playing the Mass Effect games, and, you know, when it came to their multiplayer situation, there was always some issue that seemed to always plague the situation from start to finish. Whether it was floating in the air or falling through the map, you know, your Vanguard, you know, twitching out funny because you can't. Oh, whatever. Yeah, that's part of the reason too why like I haven't been broadcasting Anthem as much as I would like to, because of this kind of shit. You know, it's like you don't know when it's going to crash on you. You don't know when it's going to have some kind of pilot error. You don't know when it's just not going to process the information for whatever reason. You don't know when you're going to, you know, you don't know when these things are going to just plague you. And the worst in regard to trying to broadcast is where you have to shut the application down, because then you have to end the broadcast and restart it. So yeah, to me they're shooting themselves in the foot by not being able to resolve these issues. But things take time and money, and the tools and the ability to do so. Alright, so let's try that again. Actually, I'm tempted to just try a different mission, because I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's nice how you can enhance the flight capabilities without too much sacrifice in other areas. Yeah, this is what we want. 2.5 more hours until the dev live stream for Anthem starts at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Marvelous. And I have another task for you, actually.
My suit is prime, Matthias. Where am I going?
I found a passage that describes the location for more Arcanist ruins. I'll mark the area.
Got it. On my
Get her
way.
done.
I don't see them yet, but there's no doubt in my mind that the ruins are here.
On it.
Careful. Those unwanted visitors are very dangerous. That's it. There must be more. Well done. Fantastic. Another one finished. That should be enough of that. Efficient. So much more to do. Freelancer help is indispensable. Runes are mentioned in a scroll colleague brought me. I have a location.
I'll get over there.
Sources are correct. The ruins are nearby.
In-flight action.
I'll see what's here.
There's one. I know there's more.
There it is.
You got a good collection now. Well done. Oh dear, something critical has come up. I'll need your help. There's a clearing where I want to set up camp. Can you ensure its viability?
I'll check it out.
We can't have any kind of camp here with those monsters running about. Please, get rid of them.
I'll take care of it. Scorpions are all dead.
Flying display of skill against overwhelming odds. I'm glad to have someone to explore the mysteries of the world with me. Exciting.
The mysteries of the world. What's up, bigger boy? How you doing, bigger boy? Well, at least we were able to complete it. You will see that we are able to get a key after completing the challenge. So depending on what they do next time with the challenge, it may be viable, or you may have some type of a currency, so to speak. And so we're still having this issue too, where the rewards completion here and seeing your medals and what have you, XP, is still funky. So let's get past this. And recycle, because we're into garbology, apparently. Salvage, salvage, salvage. Now we'll zip on over to it's a stronghold and show that we can still use a key and still at least get crafting materials, you know, so not just completing, you know, the stronghold for the extra rolls towards drops for defeating the boss. You know, there is a benefit to collecting whatever comes out the chest still, to whatever regard, because we still don't know what's going to happen with these crafting materials. I feel like they're they may be giving us a helping hand and allowing us to get all these materials, because no telling what, if they have a conversion system, if they start coming out with legendary blueprints, because now you can, you know, the thing to get is like mythic gear or off-world gear or relic gear or something. So who knows what's going to happen. But for our challenge stuff here, doesn't matter which stronghold. So, yeah, like I said, we're still trying to work on our what the heck is it called? Champion of Tarsus, right? Let me check something too on this gambit.
Good.
Grenade.
Let's get started.
Ice explosion, right? Okay. All right. But yeah, the extra keys I get between now and when the event ends, I'll probably hold on to most of them, and you know, probably every so often when folks are trying to get something, I might, you know, throw an extra key out there so they can open up all chests or something like that.
Regards that. I'm Seth. I was hoping we could meet in person, but I see you're eager to get started. Corvus has been tracking an Iskari called Skilos. We got the jump on it, but Skilos retreated to these caves. That team's built for ambushes, not sieges.
At least you know your shortcomings.
Skilos is wounded, but there's an entire swarm backing up. You've got your work cut out for you.
I think I might be liking this gambit.
Hope you weren't expecting a covert mission.
I know we are hard.
Is that a no?
Destroy the alarms or we'll be overwhelmed.
One down. I don't need a status update every time.
Well, that was for Faye.
Oh.
5 more, freelancer. And done.
Thank God I was getting a migraine.
We couldn't have that. Helix.
In-flight
Friendly.
action.
Does he know? Nothing that we
Oh,
can take from
yeah.
like that shield. Stagger him and then dig in.
Interesting metaphor.
Oh, I'm hungry. Clean up.
It ain't the Mile High Club, but it's still in-flight action.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Says the backseat driver.
Hold on. I'm detecting extremely high energy readings further in.
Damn it, this speeds up our timetable.
Why? What's happening?
There are records of a shape or construct in this area. Just a hunch, but I think Skilos might use it to cause a cataclysm.
Ugh, of course. Corvus doesn't do simple missions.
It's not like I told Skilos the construct was here.
Look at all these barrels just lying around.
They could at least organize them.
Yeah, Scars already do that. Try filling up the pump with your answer.
We're in.
Hey, congratulations, you opened the door.
Hey, don't knock the little wins. They're important. For morale. Wow. Need to recirculate the air in my javelin.
Please do.
Found the source of the smell.
Rotten meat. Lovely.
A Scar delicacy.
Where is everybody?
Relieving themselves, considering what's on the menu?
From what we can tell, Scars prefer meat that's gone off.
Why do you know these things? We're locked in.
I found the Scars.
Thanks, Ev. Very helpful.
I've got an idea, but it's definitely not covert.
Told you, not a priority.
And, freelancer, it might cave you in.
Calculated risk.
The structural integrity of that wall is weak. See those explosives? Blow the damn thing.
Yes, ma'am.
The hell is hitting me? Oh, bitch!
Freelancer, you need to
Ouch.
grab the explosives.
Crash test dummy.
Explosives in place.
Wow. Give yourself plenty of time, huh?
It's a default setting.
Focus, please. Explosives primed. Get back, Freelancer.
Way's clear.
And you've still got all your fingers and toes.
Always a plus.
Ugh. Looks like we tapped into a primitive sewer system.
More than looks like it.
Good news is, we're closing in on the construct, and probably more scars, but that's to be expected.
Seth, I want it noted that I'm literally walking through shit for you.
Noted.
Try to kill everything. Everything.
Keep moving. Exit's above you.
Fresh air. Are we close?
Yes. Energy readings are climbing.
Seb, why would Skelos start a cataclysm?
I don't know, but it's not the first Skylight to try. I've never seen a swarm this size. And considering their defenses, this place must mean something.
But
it didn't have a tank before, that's new.
It's also partly organic.
what?
Skelos isn't just the pilot. It and the tank are fused together.
It must have entombed itself to heal its wounds.
Cool theory. Can I still kill it?
Yes, it'll just be a more complicated endeavor. shields down. Give them hell.
Somebody got him, somebody got him.
Shoot the pylons to take down the shield. It's over. The construct is silent, and Skelos is no more.
Spiky plastic all but it deserved.
We should inform the Arcanists about the tank, and that the construct was spawning scars.
Yeah, I'll put him in a report.
So yeah, we'll open up the chest,
There's no
see what
Corvus
we
is
get.
paying.
Like I said, it's 99.9% confident it's all going to be compound building materials parts. Like I said, we've exhausted our chances for the Elysian collection challenge. Oh wow, somebody had an extra key. Oh. hopefully this reward screen will process. Now to wrap it up on the runs, and like I said, we'll take the extra time to take a look at the vinyls on the other javelins. Now to wrap it up on the broadcast, put us in time to grab some milk and cookies before the dev stream for Anthem today at 4 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Emotes are funny. Yeah, I'm not trying to skip past anything because I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. Yeah, so let's see. We get our chimeric compound. If anything, I believe that's... I've seen most... All day yesterday was... The majority of things I believe was chimeric compound. I might have got some parts, but can't recall exactly. Compound yet again. Compound yet again. And compound for the 4th time. Hoorah! So yeah, there we go. So yeah, unfortunately I won't be able to get that last decal that I was missing out of the rewards, but it's all good. I'm happy with the results, and hopefully they'll bring the content back for, you know, newcomers as, you know, well as veterans who may or may not have gotten everything. But we'll see what happens. Anything goes. Yeah, we can slide past this. Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying that gambit. It's interesting how there's a lay effect to the explosion. So depending on your timing, you know, you can catch the detonation, you know, after the fact, after you've already thrown it onto the situation. You know, if you can deliver whatever it is that's going to prime the target before it detonates. And I like the way it hones right in on the situation. Okay, let's just load in. For some odd reason, I was getting it confused with the seeking grenade, but it's a sticky grenade, really, is what the gambit is. Because I accidentally planted one on my the teammate. I think they ran into the enemy with it. Now hold this for me. But yeah, we'll have a nice little showcase to end this out with the other javelins. Because I'm kind of curious too. I haven't actually noticed or tried out all the different vinyls on all the javelins. I've, you know, for a select few vinyls, select couple of javelins, I've tested it out, but let's see what's up. But yeah, it's so yeah, as you can see, I still got one more key left from the one I got yesterday. So like I said, it's cool to be able to still get keys after you complete the challenge. So let's go to our forge. And we've seen them all on the Ranger.
Let's see.
So who's next on the list? The Colossus. Let's go, let's go. Alright. But yeah, if there's anything that comes to mind, I'll comment on the point, but you know, it's pretty much more about the showcasing of the vinyls on the different javelins, and you know how they look, how, you know, the clarity of the image, and the manner in which they may change based on the javelin, and of course your armor types will matter as well. And that would extend the length of this video even further if I was to go through each and every armor type. And it will really, yeah, because depending on the vinyl, you know, yeah, I could wind up having to do a whole body armor conversion, not just say the head or the arms. And I think this delivers the point adequately, I believe. Yeah, enjoy the show. Smoke them if you got them. Grab some milk and cookies. But yeah, this is what I mean by that splatter effect. Doesn't quite create the same face, so to speak, that you could get on that Ranger. And you'll see what I mean by it when you see it on the Storm or the Interceptor. It works out for the Interceptor, but the Storm's a little shaky, in my opinion. Wrong menu option. My bad. Glasses is just so big. That doesn't, I don't know. I think I might have to switch out the arms on this Colossus because the vinyls aren't really showing up very well with that Legion of Dawn arms there. Hang on a second. Let's see what pair of arms might look a little bit better as we progress through this. I think these default arms might do the trick. All right, let's take a look back for a second here. There's that one. Here we can see the spider. There's that one. Like I said, this is just on the face here. And now we're on tracker. That's cool. Now let's take out sharp teeth. Yeah, see, in my opinion, these looked far more pixelated before the last update. I believe they've worked on that. It's good to know. If so, that's cool. Like I said, I wish I had something on that left shoulder for my taste, and I don't know what these colors match, to be honest with you. Like this, I don't think there's a weapon with that tone of aqua, teal, green. So I don't know what the color that is, but may not matter for some, especially if you hide your weapons. And you just style your javelin however you want, because you can't really make out your weapon too much while you're in the midst of things. As soon as you start moving, they sling their weapon anyway, so. But yeah, we won't go through the material types on each one of the javelins because that's pretty relative, I think, from what, you know. Yeah, they show up way differently on these different javelins, and also to the different armor types. They said not bad from the majority of them if you're on that minimalist type approach, or you know, you got a lot of other accents to your palette where, you know, you actually create a larger effect with the look of the emblem. decal vinyl. Whichever. You want some bearded guys on the head of your javelin? There you go. The helmet. Arches and crosses, yeah. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Sonic Boom was one of them. For some odd reason, I keep thinking this is one you would buy out of the store, but that's cool. I kind of wish they had the inverse on the left-hand side, you know, with white in the center and red on the side. That would have been cool. It's not bad as is. Coat of armor. See, now you can make out what that image is. Oh wow, that's cool. Very cool. Not fond of the yellow, but it's cool. Works with this outfit though. Yeah, Mind's Eye was the last one that I got actually out of the rewards. This decal here, this vinyl. Yeah, I like that green with this palette too. Comes together. I think so. I saw somebody do their javelin looking like the Hulk. Green and purple or something. Yeah, I think that's a mountain range and the Bastion planet, maybe. I'm guessing. like that. It's nice. Nice colors. Nice. Yeah, this that one I was saying looked well suited for the Colossus here. Yeah, that's nice. Definitely. That's one that I like a lot, but again, I wish it had something on the right, the left shoulder as well. Yeah, this is sort of like a different version of this one here. Similar color palette here. It's being used. I believe this one is when you get from the giant event. There will be giants or something like that. I believe that was called. So we got Face the Threat. Not sure what that's supposed to be. There's Pink Rabbit. Yeah, Pop Shot. Yeah, the colors are cool. Got a little rabbit on the top. Yeah, this pattern here actually works well if you're able to sort of accent your javelin with I think. Yeah, either one of these, the vinyl sun tiled 2 or the neon sun tiled. This one, they accent the pattern well. Do that deep vinyl there. Let's see where we're at here. Grab it now. Yeah, it's a little pixelated on that there, but not too bad. All the ears. Yeah, again, I feel like that winged creature should have his wings facing the other direction for my personal taste. And of course, this high guard is another version of this other one here, Skeleton Crew. But gotta buy the Skeleton Crew one. I like that little 7 on the side. That's nice. There's actually an emblem on the front too. It's like a little crown of some sort. That's nice. Yeah, this one's cool. You can work out the colors with something. I mean, but yeah, that's nice. And this has got to be the simplest of them all. it's just this little thing on the top of the helmet, and you know this helmet doesn't do that the best justice because of the way it splits off, and you can't even see it on this helmet. That one there, okay, I guess. Can't really see it. I mean, it's weird looking there. Okay, this it works on the stock helmet, and yeah, you can't even see it on that helmet. So yeah, and it's doesn't show up the best. Which helmet was I using? This one. Yeah, I did have a build that I was working with on the Colossus, but I deleted all my builds because the Colossus is the least played, and I was testing out, you know, the drop thing. If you know, load up on a character javelin you don't use, go to free play, back out, delete the javelin, and then equip the one you normally do to see if it improved my drops, and it didn't. I've been testing out all the little theories that have been out there, and like I said, it's just a matter of time, spent, enemies killed, that sort of thing. That's going to sort of get you to your point of having a drop. And you know, I believe having luck factors in that equation somewhere along the way. If not with the quality, I don't know if it's necessary about the quality of the drop, because I still see, like, you know, base level, you know, bottom, or how to say, they lowered the floor and raised the ceiling. I see floor level stats, you know, despite whatever it is that drops. I just think it may help with the frequency, because most people, when they seem to try to test at a maximum luck situation, and you know, even when they conduct other tests, they definitely notice the difference in the frequency when they have lower numbers than peak. You know, close to 90% there. Like I said, the background on that changes depending on the color underneath, between the skull and the triangle. And the same thing with this one here. Real difficult to make out the skull in the center with this color choice. Yeah, I like this inside out. Man, that shows up pretty well. Can't see the spine part though. Again, I think that would have been better if they had the skull facing forward and like the spine coming out the back instead of. Yeah, it's cool. Perspective. But yeah, how the skull's facing forward and you just kind of see the spine coming out the back of it, or lower, you know, underneath of it, straight down or something like that, you know, or snaked around the way they have it patterned. I guess basically just flipped around. It's interesting to decide to make it upside down like that. Well, not really flipped around, but the skull facing forward like it is on this one, but the spine still going back in the same direction. There we go. That's the best way to articulate that point. Yeah, so we got snapshot. Victory pose. Yeah, this helmet just kind of interrupts the design a little bit. Too much in the front. But the other one just makes it show up really small though. Yeah, this is the only one that doesn't seem to cut off the vinyls. But it, you know, it's not all the vinyls look bad with that other helmet though. It's just certain vinyls get kind of cut off. I mean, for the look of my Colossus, I like this one. Really. Yeah, see how it splits off the face and wants to restart it again underneath. I mean, somebody might like that or do something creative with it, but it doesn't look proper to me. Alright, Wild Song. Yeah, you'd have to be careful with this helmet when it comes to the graphics and vinyls. Like I said, unless you like the way it turns out. Alright, almost at the end of the list here. Not bad. Yep, so there you go. Your different vinyls on your Colossus that you can get out of the Elysian chests. So, who's next on our list? The Storm Javelin. It'll be interesting to know if anybody actually gets all of the rewards, or is it just going to be kind of a thing where everybody's going to be missing one or more, depending on how many chests they were able to open. Yeah, like I said, the cool part about the Storm is the way the shoulder one always drapes over the cape. The to me, the pixelation pass, or the pass to get it from looking pixelated, was necessary for the Storm more so than the others, I think. Like I said, the Colossus can get rather large depending on the vinyl, but you know, depending on your helmet, you might not want to go with that point. Yeah, see, here's this warning mark, and see, to me, it just sits up a little too high to really give you the face look optimally. I mean, it's there, but just not quite as pronounced as it is on the Ranger, and you'll see what I mean by this, the Interceptor. It's fairly pronounced well on the Interceptor, as far as it being a face look wrong way. No. Tracker. And of course, if I chose a material type that wasn't as sheen, with that sheen, without the sheen, then the image wouldn't look as shiny. Sharp teeth. Have it. Yeah, see, that looks a little blurry. But yeah, that's an example of how most of them look to me when you get them on the storm blown up. I could be wrong about them improving the state of it. It just appeared that way to me. For most of them, anyway. Getting a little button stupid. That's cropped nicely. Which one? There we go. Yeah, I think that's some kind of green that's in that. Why is it not showing up? That's cool. The image looks like it's coming above the bar, but I'm not in the yellow. Thinking ahead of myself here. Yeah, that works well with this palette. Colors. This works better. Yeah, see, some of them are still pixelated. Maybe I was wrong about them working on them. But, you know, they definitely should if they haven't. Or work on them some more. Because it's kind of a bummer. You can't really change this aspect with the storm. They don't have anything where he doesn't have the cape, or the javelin doesn't have the cape, rather. And, you know, you wouldn't want to have to, if it was noticeable to you, you wouldn't want to have to run around with something looking all blurry and distorted. That's cool. Very nice, very nice. Interesting. Yeah, I like that. Gear thing. Too many times. Alright. Whoa, too close. Yeah, so nothing on the back, just on the helmet. Face the threat. Yeah. It shows it there, but yeah, with this palette, you can barely make it out in the upper left-hand corner facing it, the javelin. Let's see. Never mind, I'll do that later. Vinyls. You get inside, Drake. Grab it now. All ears. Yeah, on his outfit, I guess it makes the most sense, or the Storm's outfit, it makes the more sense to have dragon face that way, or flying creature. High guard. Oh, here. Almost at the end. Interceptors to next. Got some good coverage. Yeah, I like this one a lot too. Cool, cool, cool. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know if this helmet will give you the same effect as the Ranger. I don't think it does. Yeah, for the most part it does. Yeah, you can rock that. Spine showing. If you have the Legion of Dawn helmet, that is. Let me switch back to the other. I prefer to default. Big shotgun on the back. It's not a bad placement for that centerpiece on the helmet. Very interesting. Very nice. Yeah, you can work with those colors. Very cool. This one shows up nicely. Not badly pixelated, but yeah, it shows up pretty well. Not too badly. Yeah, like I said, it's just that, so nothing on the back. Not sure what that image is supposed to be. Might be Bastion, the planet. I don't know. I'm not sure what that glob of color is supposed to be either. Missile, maybe? Yeah. The back part comes across very nicely. Again, that centerpiece would look better if the Versix was facing forward rather than sideways. Second to last. This suits Storm well. Very cool, very cool. Especially if you're assault rifle wielding Storm, like myself. And last and least here, Skyfire is the last one for this here. That's nice too. Yeah, that works real well. Alright, let's see what the Interceptor has to show for us. And that'll wrap it up. Yeah, like I said, this is the epic, only epic when you get out the pack. Very, very cool. The chest, rather. Back. Yeah, and the same thing with this Interceptor here. I might have to switch the arms out because the Legion of Dawn shoulders is really showing the emblem well. Yeah, we'll go with these arms here. For the showcasing. And here's these warning markings on the Interceptor. Yeah, see how it comes together well with the face, how the middle part kind of forms like a nose type there, and yeah, see that stretches across the Interceptor very nicely. Heck, you could rock it out just like that, actually. Looks good. Oops. Wrong spot. Tracker. Nice placement for the X. Nice balance. That's okay. It's not too bad. Oh, that's cool. That, that that's nice. Mm-hmm. That looks real nice with this here. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, if I was to go with this, I'd match the red part with the to that green on the vinyl. Yeah, that actually works with this outfit, but it's just so small it almost you lose the context of it. Pull back. Yeah, it's a good placement too. Let's take a look and see if this Legion of Dawn helmet works. And not as well as the other ones. Getting near the end of the list. Yeah, hopefully this showcasing will answer certain questions for folks as to whether or not you can still collect keys and open chests and what the various different vinyls look like if you didn't get them, and wondering if you missed out on something, or looking forward to even getting something. So good luck to those out there still trying. Keep an eye on that time frame for when the event ends and how many more chests you have to open, so you won't get too surprised when it's numbered compound. Got merit compound. And that'll do it. All the vinyls I got out of the Elysian chest, except for one, which is wasting away. So definitely good luck to everybody in the challenge, what they may or may not get out of it. It's been interesting. It'd be even more interesting to see what they do during the next event, and you know what awards will be available and if we can still use the same key or not. But well, that'll wrap it up. You know, bid you adieu, and until next time, enjoy. And this is Wadidja. So what did you say? What did you do? And what did you think? Take care and enjoy.